Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make your very own Christmas store. It's that time of the year everybody, and if you want to give me a gift, please do remember to hit that like button on the video and watch it all the way to the end. That'd really help me out loads and loads. This is the amount of space required to make your build, a 17 by 20 block area as represented by the white concrete grid on the ground, which I would recommend you make if you are planning out your world. It will help a lot. Here are all of the materials that you will need to make your store. Please do make sure that you have access to all those materials and enough of them as well. And now that we have all of our stuff, we can get started. Come all the way over to the front left hand corner of your grid, if you've made it, and count backwards from this corner 1 and 2. We're going to start off by placing 7 green concrete on top of each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then extend to the right 2, back 2, right 2 again, and then back to the front. The point of this is that we can then extend down each one of the 4 corners to form a pillar. So the pillar wants to look exactly like this. Now that is going to be filled in a little bit. We're going to join all of the bottoms of the pillar together using green concrete like this. And then the idea is that the inside the pillar we want to have alternating white and red, or red and white, it doesn't really matter, blocks to kind of look like candy canes, or at least it's just kind of like Christmassy colours, red and white. I don't think that you can get really a better combination that encapsulates Christmas than these. So now that you have done that, you may want to seal up the right side of your pillar. You want to take the top middle right block of your pillar, drop down one, and then place a row of 12 green concrete going right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're then going to extend forwards by 1, and then backwards by 1. We then want to place a row of green on top of all of those 3 blocks. Take the front block and the back block and extend towards you by 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Join them together front to back. And then we want to join all of the 4 corners down to the ground. So it's essentially the exact same thing that we have on the opposite side, except, well, it's on the opposite side. We want to join all of the bottom together, so just like this. You can even place a block in the middle too. And then we want to place the same stripy white and red concrete. I was just making sure what order I did it in over there on the left. We want to do the exact same thing here on the right as well. Just like this. Do make sure it's the same. It can be the alternate way round, but obviously it wants to be the same on both sides. So now that we've done that, I'm going to seal up the back of this pillar like this using green concrete. I want to come all the way up to the top middle of the back of the pillar, drop down a row, and I want to place a row of 13 green concrete extending backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm going to extend that 13th block left and right by 1. An entire row of green on top. I'm going to take the left and right blocks and extend them towards me by 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Join them together. Then join each one of the 4 corners down to the ground. Just like this. And I think that you can see where this is going. We want to have the exact same pillar that we've made a few times already. We want to join it together at the bottom, just like this. Can even fill in the middle. We want to have the alternating, and I'm remembering now, we start off with white, red, white, red, white, red, like this. And that's what we want to have. Nice pillar. Also, quite honestly, we can just fill in the area in between these 2 pillars using green concrete. There's no details really on the right side, other than later on, there is an option to add some Christmas lights and stuff to the outside of the build, which we might very well do, we'll have to see. So we want to do the same thing on the opposite side of the build as well. I think that you guys will find this really easy. So we want to take the opposite pillar at the front of the build, seal it up using green, come to the middle top and drop a row down, extend backwards by 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then extend right and left one. Add a row on top. Extend the left and right blocks towards you by 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Join them together. And then once again, we've done this many times now, 3 times actually, I guess it's not that many, and we want to do the exact same thing. So we don't do that, well, we can do that actually. We want to drop all the corners or extend up all the corners, however you want to see it. We want to join it all together at the bottom, and then we want to take the middle and place white and red alternating all the way up just like this. As with the left side of the build, you can fill the entire back of the build in with green concrete if you like. We're going to do the same with the left side. You might be wondering to yourself, why is it that we don't have any windows on these sides of the build? Because I imagine these to be built into a mall or a street. That's why, like, you know, like a high street, like all the shops are kind of just like next to each other, side by side by side. Like, there's not really any room for windows or anything like that. That's what I'm imagining. Of course, you can add windows and other details if you like, but I imagine that there would, like, this Lego store and this Christmas store, like, there wouldn't be any space. They'd just be, like, right next to each other. So that's why there's not really anything on the sides. But this is a good amount of the shop complete. The next thing that we're going to do is add some detail to the front, which is something that we will actually be able to see. So we're going to take the left side. We're going to take the middle of the pillar, because it should be quite easy to find the middle block out of all of the 3, and we're going to extend it to the right by 3 using upside down quartz stairs. 1, 2, 3, smooth stairs specifically. We want to stick a green concrete on the end, and then we want to extend the green concrete up by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That will hit the top. Extend to the right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Drop all the way down to the ground like this. Take the block that hit the ground and place 3 smooth quartz stairs extending to the right like this. At the tops of the windows, place regular quartz stairs, so we might have to just seal up the inside of this pillar as well, and then we can place the quartz stairs just like this. Then I'm going to use just bog standard regular run-of-the-mill glass pane to fill in the windows, because I want to be able to see inside the store. Like, the store's really nice and open and bright and colourful. I think it'd be quite nice to be able to actually see it properly. So the next thing that we're going to do is kind of like make a little door frame. Basically, the door is going to be set 1 row backwards in between all of this space. So just to show you representatively, the door's going to be right there. I'm going to place a row of white concrete all the way around the door like this. Like so. And then a row of glass pane on top of this. Smooth quartz slabs in front of this, like so. And I'm also going to place a bell. So there's going to be a bell above the door, just like this. Now, you might be thinking that the building almost looks a little bit bland like this. Well, there is a way to make it look a little bit better. We're literally going to put a bow on this. So we're going to use red concrete, and left and right of the door frame where we have like this bell, I'm going to place a red concrete like this. So this is in front of the green concrete, not covering up any of the white concrete area. Extend each red concrete upwards by 1, then place 2 diagonals extending up and in, another one in the middle, and then from this we want to place outward, so up and out, red diagonally placed red concretes. Red diagonally placed red concretes. That doesn't even sound right. Almost looks like a creeper face, by the way, almost. We then want to extend those diagonals outwards and then down. And it basically just looks like a nice ribbon that's kind of just like put on the outside of the building. I'm going to grab some smooth stone, and I'm just going to dig out all of the area in front of the building. So whatever you would usually use for a pavement or a sidewalk, also whatever word you want to use for that, we call it a pavement over here, so that's what we'll go with. I would recommend digging all this out and then replacing the area with those material. So with that material, dig out the area and replace it with that material. Underneath the windows, I would recommend placing alternating white and red concretes or red and white concretes, just because it looks a little bit nicer. The end result should be something that should look like this. If you like, you can also place some spruce leaves just kind of like out and in front of the build, and you could even add a couple of other things to kind of just increase the kind of like the front of the build as well, just kind of like the appeal of the front of the build. But those are some techniques that we'll be using on the inside as well, and I'll show you the ones that I think could be appropriate for the outside too. So also in regards to the outside, I'd recommend adding item frames to the green concrete areas above the windows, and you can even do this all the way around. So if you have a huge abundance of item frames, or if you're building in creative like I am, then you can add item frames just all the way around the top of the build like this, and these are just going to look like Christmas lights. We're going to fill these in with all sorts of different concretes, so that is going to be later on. We'll actually do that when we also do it to the inside, so we don't have to clutter our inventory. So we're now going to head inside, and I'm just going to destroy where this door is going to be. Going to grab the oak planks, place it here, and then I'm going to replace the door, so just so I don't have to do that later on. When it comes to the inside of the store, I really wanted a nice warm Christmassy feel, hence why I'm going to destroy all of the pre-existing floor, which is just grass, and I'm just going to replace it using oak planks, because for some reason oak planks, it just seems as though it's the warmest material out of every single other plank. There's nothing that quite captures the same. Spruce planks are sort of like a close second, but that's pretty much it. I think that oak kind of like rules the roost when it comes to it. We might also have to add a little bit of framing around the door as well. Might have to add a little bit of green concrete, but we're also going to have to add a roof as well. We're going to also add some shelves, and also we're going to be building a fireplace, believe it or not. So we're kind of going to generally prepare this area ready for filling in. And how you fill it in is going to be up to you. Obviously, I'm going to go through my process, but you may have to change some things depending upon how you're building this. I'm going to grab some, well, let's grab some things preemptively. So to finish up, we'll need white concrete, green concrete. We'll need brick block, brick stairs. We'll need iron bars, campfire, red concrete, and we'll also need some smooth quartz stairs. I'm pretty sure that we'll need some of the other things as well, but not quite yet. So around the door frame, I'm going to place green concrete. So this is literally like all the way around it. This will also give the glass pane something to grip onto, which is something that we desperately needed as well. The roof of the build, I'm pretty sure that I would just like it to be white concrete, and the white concrete is placed just up above the door line here. You could even change this front row of green concrete to white concrete like this, and then it would actually look a little bit better from the top. It's actually not a big deal whatsoever. Also, if you did want a higher ceiling, there's no reason that you can't have one. I mean, you certainly can. Then you can just like build the white concrete. I would stick with the white, even if you do make it like flush with the top of the build, then you can just make it one row higher. I just so happen to like a little bit of a depth, a little bit of a contrast. I think that looks pretty cool. You could even sort of make this look like a present if you wanted to. You could even, like, for people that would actually be able to see the top of this, you could actually make it look like a Christmas gift if you wanted to by, like, adding a cross. But then I don't know if it just kind of looks like a hospital. But I think that that's kind of like a cool little Easter egg that you could add. I mean, that might look a little bit silly, I don't know, but it sort of does just look like a cross. Like, that kind of reminds me of a hospital. But also, I think I quite like that anyway. Okay, so now that we've made the inside of the area so dark, maybe we should chuck some torches just about the place, just for the moment. You know, we can alter this in a second, but okay, let's work on the inside a little bit because there is quite a bit to add, and I think that we're going to start on the right side of the build. So as we walk in to the right, this is where we're going to kick things off. So just behind this green pillar, I'm going to place a white concrete on the ground behind it. 3 upside down stairs extending to the left. 1, 2, 3. White concrete. 3 stairs. White concrete. 3 stairs. I'm going to extend the white concretes up by 1 using red concrete, and then I'm going to have white concrete and then red again. So just the alternating white and red concretes that we have used a lot already. I want to have a row of upside down quartz stairs connecting all of the middle white concretes together, just like this. I'd also recommend using item frames. So this is also where I'm going to place item frames hanging off of these stairs like this, and I think it kind of creates a nice interesting depth effect. Like, it's relatively interesting to look at, and we're just going to be placing some Christmas lights. In addition to that, like this left shelf here, I'm going to have some stockings, so I'm just going to place those in the item frames. On the right side here, I'm also going to have item frames just inside of this hole here, and this is actually going to be minecarts and stuff, and this middle area is going to be kind of just like general toys. So I know that sounds a little bit weird, but you'll see when we get there, when we actually have all of the materials for the decoration. So extending across the back now, I want to have a row of, so in this corner here, alternating red, white, red. I should move these closer together, and white extending up to the ceiling like this. And then 2 stairs going left, 1, 2, and then red concrete, 3 upside down stairs, 1, 2, 3, red concrete, 2 upside down stairs, red concrete, and then we're going to have white concretes on top of the red concretes on top of the white, a white concrete on the left side, and you can see this middle area a little bit different. We want to join the 2 middle rows together using a white concrete, and then a red right in the middle. I'm also going to have item frames extended across the top of this, and this is kind of going to be like a till area. It's kind of going to be a nice cool little area. I'm going to have an item frame here on the left facing upwards, item frame here on the right facing upwards. I'm going to have a bell because it just looks Christmassy to the right of this. I prefer, yeah, there we go, a standing bell. I think that looks a little bit cooler. I want to have a till area, as I mentioned, so the right side here, this red concrete, extend forwards by 2, so 1, 2, extend left 1, 2, 3, 4, so it kind of lines up. I'm going to have a smooth quartz stairs here, just placed on kind of like the till area. So what would you even call this thing? I don't even know. Kind of like a big. It's not a desk. I'm blanking on what I should call this thing, but you know where the tills are, the big giant sort of long table thing that they have. A weighted pressure plate to the right of it. We can even decorate the area a little bit further on as well later. So that leaves the left side of the store and a little bit more as well. So the left side of the store is a tad unique. So if we start from the right side, we need some stuff, by the way. So we need the brick blocks, brick stairs for this. We need the iron bars. We're going to use campfires. You can use netherrack and flint and steel depending upon how crazy you want to get. And we'll need the item frames again. And yeah, that should do for now. So on the right side here, we're going to leave a gap of 3. So 1, 2, 3. So on this 4th row, we want to place 2 bricks extending up. We then want to place 3 upside down brick stairs, 1, 2, 3 going left. Brick block on the end, extend down. Campfires underneath this, and this is where the netherrack would come in if you wanted it, and then you could flint and steel it. But I'm going to destroy in front of the width of this, replace it using bricks. You could even do the same underneath the fire campfires if you wanted to, but I don't know why I'm forgetting so many words today. It's crazy. Maybe I've got something up with it. I don't know. So we're then going to place iron bars in front of this. Then the only problem is it does get a little bit smoky. This is a downside to the campfires, but I mean it does kind of like create an atmosphere in here, but then you can't really see. what's on these item frames. So, I mean, if you want the campfires, you can have them. If you don't want them, you don't have to have them. You could even extinguish them if you wanted to. We're also going to have item frames hanging off of the half here. So we're going to have some stockings as well. And then that's pretty much it for this left side. We're going to decorate a little bit further with materials that we don't have later on. So, the front of the store, we want to have two displays in the front of the store. So behind this window here specifically, we're going to have 2 rows of brick, and we might even extend the brick. Maybe we'll extend the brick left and right using a brick stair like this. And we want to do the same on the opposite side. So 2 rows of brick, and then we can't extend the left side, but the right side we can. We can have just 2 separate displays. I'm going to, once again, I'm going to place a bell in the window here, and then an item frame to the right of this. And I want to have a tree in this window. So the tree is made out of, very simply, just spruce fence, spruce leaves, item frame, and a nether star. And the tree is going to be placed in the middle, behind the item frame. So spruce fence, 2 spruce leaves on top, item frame in front of the top with a star in it. I think that you guys can understand what we're getting at here. And then later on, we will decorate the rest of the area here. We don't have what we need for this part, but we do have what we need for the center, or at least we have some of what we need. Grab yourself red concrete and white concrete. I want you to take the width of the door frame. Actually, this is a better way to think about it. The area where we have the 3 campfires, so you can see where we have the 3 campfires here just in the middle. We want to leave a gap of 1, 2 from the middle of the campfires, and actually a gap of 3 from the campfire. So 1, 2, 3. This 4th block, destroy the 2 next to it, 2 rows in front, and we want it to line up with the campfires and also the middle of the build. So not only does this little area 3 line up with the 3 campfires, but also cross sections with the 3 middle blocks at the front of the build. I want you to place a crisscross of white concrete and red concrete, so kind of like just like a chessboard pattern like this. We're going to stick a tree in the middle, that's a spruce fence, and we're going to have 3 spruce leaves on top of each other. Item frame in the top, nether star in the top, and boom, that's a nice little, that's a tree kind of just like in the middle of the store, kind of like lining things up. Just one little more decoration that I think that would really add a little something to the store as well. So extending out from the 2 front corners, I want you to leave an entire gap. So extending out diagonally from the corners, leave an entire gap. So you take the 2nd diagonal. Place a white concrete. So you leave an entire gap diagonally, white concrete. Red concrete on top, white concrete on top, red concrete extending forwards. Those look like candy canes. And you see, this is a really nice, like, stock Christmas store. So like, this is a really good place to start off, which is exactly what we are going to be doing. So I'm going to get rid of all of these materials, right? And hopefully up to now, except perhaps the nether star, maybe that might be a little bit tricky, but up until now, hopefully it's not been too difficult to gather all of these materials. But we're now going to do some decorating, and this is where things are going to get a little bit trickier if you are doing this in survival. So I'm going to gather everything that we're going to need. We'll probably need a few different inventories of it, and I'll be back once I have it. So here are all of the materials that we are going to be using. Of course, feel free to substitute those that you feel as though might be a little bit too costly. These may not be too bad to you, but we are going to be using a lot of shulker boxes after this, so, you know, you'll have to weigh what you do want to use and what you don't want to use. But pause the video if you have to grab all this stuff. We're going to start off with end rods, flower pots, spruce sapling, snowball, chest, rails, minecart with chest, redstone torch, and lanterns. So let's focus on the back of the store first of all. In the middle of the back of the store, I like the idea of having a load of flower pots with some spruce saplings in them. They look like mini Christmas trees. I love them. So, hang on, I look like a Christmas tree then, the way that I had that angled. I couldn't. I can't even do that again. That was perfect. So on the left side here, I'm going to have like a snowball in this item frame, an end rod, kind of looks like a candle. Candles are somewhat synonymous with Christmas for some reason. Another snowball in here, a couple of chests. They just look Christmassy for some reason, chests do. I don't know why. I'm going to have some rails along the top of here where we have all the item frames and a couple of minecart with chests. It just looks like a train set or something. Like, I think that looks really cool. I also like the idea of just having a couple of redstone torches around. They just seem Christmassy to me. I just like how they look. And that's kind of perfect at the moment. So we can also have like a lantern on this table. We can also have like a flower pot with a spruce sapling on this table as well. You can even hang a couple of lanterns about the place. So like left and right of the entrance here if you like. You can have them, I mean, anywhere really. I mean, just on the sides of the room if you like as well. I mean, like here. It goes on and on and on. Like, you can place them wherever you want. So on the right side of the build, we might be able to utilize some materials that we already have. So on the right side of the build, if I can actually get the picture up that I want to look at, I'm going to place just a load of chests. So like a double chest here, a double chest here inside this area. It just looks like stock. And then we can have maybe like a couple of redstone torches. Again, you could have an item, you could have a flower pot, you could have item frames. You can use any sort of mix match of stuff. You can have like a set of rails with like a minecart in them if you like it, just to make them look like stock, basically stuff that people would want. And that will actually do for like this side of the room, well, for the materials that we have. So other things that you can use to fill this side of the room up include like redstone repeater, redstone comparator. We'll grab the torches out again as well. I want to grab I think if I press Y, I'll accidentally equip them. I'm going to grab all of these boots, aka stockings as well, and the minecart with hopper and all of the different kinds of minecarts, because they just look like train pieces to me. So like in these item frames here, I'm just going to place all sorts of stockings and I'm going to mess them up a little bit, kind of like this. In this middle area, I like the idea of having comparators and repeaters and torches. It just looks like toys, some sort of toys. On the right side here, I'm going to fill up all of these item frames with the different minecarts, and anything that just looks like some sort of gift or something to do with Christmas will fit in here. Like, if you have more ideas than I do, feel free to apply them if you do. On the opposite side of the room over here, I want to fill these items. See, I equipped the boots by accident. I'm going to fill these item frames up with stockings because, of course, these are above the fire. What else can we have above the fire as well? I mean, obviously, we can just keep repeating like lanterns and like the flower pots and stuff. So we can, well, we already have a load of lanterns, so maybe we just have like a couple of little mini Christmas trees like this. You can have like chests and stuff like that. So, you know, if you wanted to, you can just chuck a chest in. Not that we can even see anything anyway because of the stupid smoke. Although that has helped a little bit. Actually, that has kind of actually the smoke has maybe put some chests up there. That'll stop the smoke getting through. That was perfect. I didn't expect that to happen. On the right side here, I like the idea of having some like boxes. I've put my gold boots on. Boxes of Christmas trees. So like a spruce fence, some spruce leaves, spruce trap doors. A Christmas tree in a box. If you just place like in the corner here a spruce fence with a couple of spruce leaves, and if you place some like spruce trap doors around the bottom half, and then if you just leave the top exposed, then you can tell that it's a Christmas tree, and you could even have like a full Christmas tree over here on the left, so like a fence and a couple of leaves. If you wanted to better represent that that's what we're doing here, so you could grab the saplings and no, that looks kind of stupid actually. So, oh well, what you could do is this. So you could grab like a spruce plank here. I mean, I don't know where you'd put this exactly for it not to be in the way. Maybe like here or something, right? And then you could like put an item frame in front of it or on it, and you could have like a spruce sapling, and then maybe like if you put like that on top, like it just looks like a box for a tree. And by the way, this is actually something that I was thinking about doing outside. I mean, you tell me whether this is a bit silly. I was thinking about putting like some boxes of Christmas trees, so maybe like a spruce, so like this, so maybe like or maybe some like trees laid down. I was kind of like thinking like this, although that doesn't really work. I was kind of thinking just outside, maybe something like this, sort of like a similar design to what I had inside, to be quite honest. So just like boxed up trees, I just like the idea of. I don't know whether it improves the outside, the curb appeal, which is a phrase that I was looking for earlier. I don't know whether that kind of like improves things at all to have kind of just outside, like it's not uncommon for stores to have like items and stuff just kind of like outside on just advertised. So I mean, it's something you can do. It's something you don't have to do if you don't want to. You could even have like I said, just like a box here, and you can have just like this. I mean, it does kind of look a little bit more interesting, I think. I think that that's pretty cool. And then if we add some shulker boxes out here later on, I think that can only improve the area as well. But heading back inside, so now that we've kind of like done that, I also like the idea of having so stockings again, kind of like in this item frame. And I can't even remember what I put in the other one. Oh, just another, just once again, I mean, it's the same sort of decorations over and over and over again, but kind of like a lantern here. In this corner, I like the idea of just stuffing like, for some reason, I mean, these just look like interesting, colourful boxes. So like smithing tables, fleshing table, cartography table, crafting table, and then a couple of chests. Like, it just looks like cool Christmas gifts. It just looks like colourful boxes. Like, it could, I mean, that clearly, like a hammer and this, I mean, it just looks like toys, essentially. I mean, I really think that looks cool. You can I mean, you don't even have to. You can put these everywhere if you wanted to. Like, there's no reason why you can't mix and match things. That you can put these along the back. I mean, all sorts. You can literally just, as you see fit, you can put these about the place. So now we've kind of hit a point where we have to grab a load of different shulker boxes. And I'm going to specifically want to grab colourful shulker boxes. And there's no reason to kind of like fade out at this point and like come back and grab them, but like purple is a good colour, light blue, lime, yellow, orange, red, white, all nice bright colours of shulker boxes. And I'm going to place these kind of like around the central Christmas tree, kind of like this. They just look like presents. I want to place these in the window as well, so just like this here, like so. I discussed the idea of placing them kind of like in front of the... Actually, do you know what? It'd actually make more sense for this decoration to be here, and then the Christmas gifts to be over here, so I think I'm going to do exactly that. I will restore that in a sec. So, maybe just like this sort of colour, just a few different gifts here. That looks pretty cool. And then I can have this here, and then a couple of these. Like, the reason that I decided to swap those over, I'll show you guys in a second. I'm sure that you can see why, though. We already have gifts in this window, and we already have trees in this window. So it would make sense to have the gifts on this side, and the tree on that side, and the alternate in the windows. Honestly, that looks way better. I actually like that way more. I think that that's way, way cooler like that. I think that that's definitely an improvement. And the only thing that I would recommend doing from here is using a little bit of white carpet just to kind of decorate the inside of the store a little bit, because it somewhat looks like snow. So, you know, just maybe just around the centerpiece. It doesn't really matter exactly. I just like the idea of having a load of white carpet everywhere, having it just sort of like look like snow. I mean, it's you know, it's not too far. Yeah, I think that improves things a lot. So, other than that, the only thing that we have to do from here is we got to fill in all of the item frames. So grab your favorite colors of concrete. You know, mine I think are pretty obvious. I mean, I like all the bright colors, and I'm going to do this kind of lazily. I'm just going to alternate all of the concretes that I have. I'm going to fill in all of the item frames that I designated as kind of like Christmas light frames. So these here. I'm just filling them in with all of the... I mean, look, that just makes such a huge difference everywhere. And also for the outside of the build too, just up at the top here, I'm just going to go right all the way across, make it look like a rainbow. And if you're interested in doing the sides as well, you may want to mix and match them more than I am. And when I say more, I mean I'm not mix and matching them at all. I'm literally going in a predetermined pattern. So it'd be pretty difficult to do this in any less of a random way. So there we go, perfect. So that's, I mean, I think that really does just kind of like put the cherry on the cake. And I really like how it looks in here now, like, especially with all the fake snow. We can get rid of all the torches on the ground. I think I only placed 2 actually, but it just feels so nice and Christmassy and warm inside here now. I'm really happy with it, and well, that's kind of the whole thing. So this is what your Christmas store will look like once it has been 100% fully completed. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. I really enjoyed making it. Christmas time is one of my favorite times of the year, if not my favorite time of the year, definitely in the top 2, and I really enjoyed making this for you. If you have enjoyed it, please do remember to hit that like button, as it really helps me in the channel out very, very much. If you're new around here, please do consider subscribing and clicking that little bell next to the subscription button. That will ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. And if you want to make anything else by me, check out the card system, the description below, and the top of the comment section for more. Also, the recommended videos, as long as they are recommended by TSMC Minecraft or Building Every Block. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys have a good Christmas. I hope that you get everything that you wish for, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.